Welcome to another League of Legends ranked game. This is the preseason, so unfortunately, I did not make my goal of gold. Um, Part of that I'd say was due to being placed so low at the very start of the season. It took ages to get out of bronze, and then I climbed pretty well. Um, my I used Lol King to kind of look at progress or stuff like that to see how I'm doing, to see my averages, percent wins, stuff like that. And it also gives you a graph of kind of your progress, and my progress was always going up with some slight downs, but it would bounce back up, and so did fairly well. It just took so long to get of out of bronze that I couldn't quite make it. um, but yeah, I was going to be practicing a little bit more, maybe playing a little bit more. As of late, I kind of haven't played too much, and part of that has been because I've kind of had a bit of a um, period of time in which that I've kind of been a little fed up with League, and it's not to the extent that I would say that I dislike League or anything like that. More just I needed a break. So I haven't played that much. I played like 3 games in the last like week and a half or so, which for me is, you know, not very much, especially since like most days I'd play at least 1 game, if not play like 2, 3, 4 games in a day. Um, it's also nice that, my classes right now, I've done most of my GE classes, and so I'm finishing up GEs while taking a few classes towards one of my majors, and that one major that I'm working on at the moment is linguistics, so Spanish and French. I'm taking at the moment Spanish 2010, French 1010. I've taken Chinese, stuff like that. I really like languages, but so it's really been nice for me. That was not good. She got caught out. Well, that was interesting. Oh my gosh, internet, why? Um, I'm gonna go. Sorry. Like I said, I haven't played for a little while, and I'm playing ADC, which is, I'm decent at, but it's definitely not like my top role. Um, it's one that I've decided I'm gonna work on, get better at, stuff like that. But I'm definitely looking forward to this next season. Um, for me, I've mostly played solo queue, and it's really made things hard. Um, I feel like most of the time I do very well. I Towards the end of the season I started playing duo queue with one of my friends who recently turned level 30. So I helped him. He wasn't used to it, so he didn't do quite that that as well as he would have hoped. But he didn't do all that bad either. Oh yeah. Sorry, no. So I mean, he did well, but he wasn't used to it, so it's a big adjustment. Kind of wasn't able to. Wow, that's good support. I definitely know how hard supports work. I play a lot of support, and so I understand um, how hard support is and how much you don't get recognized for anything. Kind of sucks. Dang it. Okay, my lag's gone down at least. I was lagging for a second there for some reason. But I think it's just gonna be really nice once this new season starts. Um, Dang it, mana. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Whew, whew. That was close. That was fun though. Whew, okay. Um, I didn't even use my ult because I didn't have any mana. That was interesting. Okay. But in most of my games, I end up um, Doing very well. In support, obviously, it's hard sometimes to be like, I do amazing because you're trying to get other people kills. Towards the end of the season, I started playing more supports along the lines of Tom Kench or Morgana because for me, I love Blitzcrank and all of those kind of supports. Like, they're kind of like the playmakers. They're ones who are just like, um, dang it, mess up. So they're the ones who are like here, I present this person to you on a silver platter. Now, kill this person. Oh my gosh. Um, what was I saying? Sorry. Um, I do very well, especially mid. Um, my friend can even basically verify that I usually always do very well. Um, and that I usually always get ganked. Uh, most time mid. Oh, stuck. Go. Woo! I don't like this. He's dead. Never mind. I lied. Well, that's good. 5-0-2. I'm doing fairly well, which is nice. Whew, nice. But I get ganked a lot, especially as Fizz. I love Fizz. I enjoy him very much. He's quite fun. And I had one game I was playing against Vigar, and ever since the latest rework of Vigar, Vigar's kind of broken. He's like my second main mid at the moment, and he's very broken in such that like late game he basically one shots like anyone, almost anyone. And so even with Fizz, you can do very well, but late game you get to a point where Vigar's just like die, and so he kills you very easily. I didn't mean to hit that one. Ah, okay. Whew, they're fighting without me, but they're doing good. MF for verbal abuse, huh? Um, and I still end up even, but or positive at the end. But Vigar's like such a nature that you can destroy him, but then late game he just destroys you, and it's like, ugh, one-shotted or stuff like that, or almost one-shotted. And it's interesting, like this guy was flaming me because like I destroyed him. Like there was nothing he could do. And then like late game he started getting kills on other people and stuff like that. So started doing fairly well, getting more AP, yada yada. But he was like flaming me the whole game, just like, you suck, that champion sucks, like, no skill, I'm just gonna buy that champ and all that. And I'm like, I respond to him in a very courteous way, as courteous as I could be, and I was like, the one who's actually like broken is you. Because like you have such a champion that no matter what, at the very end, like you are freaking strong if you actually know how to play, obviously. But most people do. Well, I take that back. Like there are definitely some people I think come to ranked games straight once they hit level 30. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I feel like it can be like a good thing. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. But I feel like a lot of them are people that there are some people that come and play that right after hitting level 30 from playing like ranked, I mean not ranked, from playing like bot games their whole freaking time. And for me, that's annoying because those people like go through bot games and think that they are like the cream of the crop, that they're like super good when they really aren't. They're like, yeah, I got like this pentakill in bot games. I'm like amazing. And it's like, really? How does that make you amazing? I don't understand. So it's interesting, like I feel like I definitely have gotten players like that and it like sucks. It's like, dang it. Like learn how to play the game. And so like anyways, back to what I was saying. I have so many games where I do very well. I get ganked a heck of a lot. And it's just like really hard to come out even in the end when you get ganked so much, but I still usually do. But most of my team can't do anything about it, and so it's like useless. And I had one game where I like tilted, like I just sucked it up. And I'll use it. It's better dead than alive. Um, and there's not much I can do. It just kind of sucks. Whew, that was not very good. I just need one freaking shot, that's it. That's a bummer. Um, and I had one game where I tilted and I was mid, but I was so upset because it can be like so hard to just like continuously play these games where you're doing like everything you can and doing good, but like your team can't do anything. And it's, everyone has bad games. It's a thing. Like, you know, I understand that everyone has bad games, but it always seems like their bad games fall on, on my games. Well, that was good. No! Did I die to? Oh, I did die to her. I was hoping I wasn't paying attention. Oh, my bad. Okay. So I'm gonna finish my thought. If I can remember what my thought was. Uh, anyways, okay, tilting. Yeah, I had one game where I tilted at the very beginning. I was mid, and mid is my best role. Support's my second, because I play it so much. Not many people like it. Um, but mid's my best role, and I usually do very well, but I was so upset and stuff because I'd had like 4 or 5 games in a row where I was like, 20 and 5 or 12 and 4, and some support games where I was like 5, 7 and 20, and they were all like defeats and stuff like that, and it's just like kind of frustrating. So you know, I realize that sometimes like you really do need to step away because like you can tilt yourself by getting too frustrated or too into it when your team like is consistently unable to capitalize on your OPness or consistently unable to like beat their lanes. Um, and again, it just seems like everyone has their bad games when they play with me. Uh, except for like I obviously still win, but sometimes that's just because I'm so OP or so fed that I'm able to um, do a lot, and it's not just me. Sometimes it's my team maybe got their butts kicked, but it's a team game, so our team synergy is better than the enemies, or they're able to protect the carries, whether that be me or someone else, or both me and someone else, stuff like that. But this game that I tilted, I did very well in a matchup that I should have won easily or done very well. I was either playing Diana or Fizz. I picked up Diana towards the end of season. I really liked her. I have a really good win rate with her. Um, but I was doing poorly, and finally, like someone on my team, it was the ADC. Like I don't know if I've really had many games where the ADC actually does very well on our team. It's kind of like does even, like goes even, or gets the other enemy ADC fed. But this time, like our ADC just crushed, and it was perfect because she was fed. Jungle finally left me alone enough that I was able to kind of like calm down, get my act together, not let my emotions like screw with my thought process. Knowing when to go and when to attack. Um, the limits basically. When you tilt, you get too emotional, and you don't really think about these things. You don't kind of like calculate the kind of about how much of a trade you can do, or about how much damage you can take, or like you don't take in consideration your limits, even if you know them very well with like champions you play all the time. Like with Fizz, I know him backwards and forwards. I know his limits very well. Doesn't mean I always win, but I win late, like 90% of the time. I also realize that early game, isn't always my forte. You know, early game, I'm focusing on CSing. So I do very well CSing, but then sometimes, I might die once or twice here and there. But then mid game, late game, then my mind focus switches from CSing to like kills and team play, and so my CSing goes down the drain, and my kills go dramatically up, and that's why I like Fizz. I have a 12 or 13, and then uh, 8, no, 6. So like 12, 13 kills, 6 deaths, and like 9 or 11 assists. Um, I've had some pretty bad games with him. They're more the exception than the rule or the average. Most time I go like 20, 11, or 23, 5, and 12 and lose, stuff like that. Um, but because my ADC was fed and jungle finally left me alone and I was able to calm down, I was able to to reverse the repercussions of going on tilt and to win back my lane and go positive again. So then at the end I was again another carry, and so finally I was still a little upset at the end of the game. I was like, what, do I have to like go on tilt or like suck it up so that someone on my team steps it up? But so I'm looking forward to the new season. I feel like I'm gonna do more duos or above, and maybe I'll still probably play a decent amount of solos, but I'm just looking forward to being able to maybe even queue up with 4 friends or maybe even 5 friends to queue up with people that I can at least rely on. Um, and even if they have a bad game, at least I will understand that they're having a bad game. Because, whenever I have an off day or a bad game, which happens. I'm not perfect, and I've still got a lot to learn or a lot to improve on. But whenever I have that, you have the people who are like, "You suck, you should uninstall," and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, like I've been watching you, and if this is the best you have to offer, I would crush you, kind of thing. Or like, dude, you know, it's a bad game or an off day or stuff like that. Like it depends on how much patience I have that day. Some days, like when someone's trash talking their own teammates or like verbally abusing me or someone else, is just really frustrating, and I just it can rile me up a bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good thing overall. Um, just to have the clarity and the relief from queuing up with people you can count on and know are good, aren't trolling you. You won't be queued up with trolls as much, is my hope. Also, with the new season, I've gotten a lot better at CSing. My CSing has gotten a lot better over the season. I watched a few videos, I think one maybe by G-Bay, or I'm not sure. I watch a few YouTubers like G-Bay or Sky Williams. I've recently started watching Instalock. Does funny parodies, which is funny because I've for the longest time I've wanted to do a parody, and I have one. I'm brainstorming currently, and so when I found that out, I was like, sweet, like I can get inspiration from someone else that does it, or you know, be like at least someone else had the same idea as me, probably before me. I'm not sure. I didn't really look at it, but they've at least had the same idea as me. Um, But yeah, the relief of being able to like queue up with people that aren't going to AFK, that aren't going to DC, and if they do, you know the reason why, and you know they'll be back. It's not going to be like someone trolling you and AFKing to screw you over, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good thing. But hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you enjoyed kind of the commentary. And if you did, definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate any comments you have for me. Maybe things to talk about. Not just like champions. Maybe, you know, what do I think about this or that? Like a lot of popular YouTubers have talked about, like, Donkey quitting league, stuff like that. But if you have, topics for me to talk about, um, I will definitely take them in consideration with regards to stuff like Donkey. I didn't really watch his stuff, so I didn't really watch the stuff, so because of that, I can't really like comment on that. But if it's something I can comment on, I definitely will. Um, So yeah, just leave any comments you have for me, and have a wonderful day and enjoy leaguing it up on your own.